So in this example, we will see that how to read the Excel sheet and write or show into a plain text. So we know that when we read the data from the Excel sheet, then we store as a data table. So there is a problem that how the data table can be converted into the plain text. So here we will see that how the data table can be converted into the plain text. So for this we have an activity that we will see in this program. I have created one workflow with the name of read sheet into plain text .xaml file. So I'm going to take this workbook type of rendered activity here, and I'm going to provide the sheet that from which we want to read the data, and the sheet name is sheet 1 itself only. For this example, I'm going to change the sheet name as a read sheet or a read sheet, something like this. So copy the name and I'm putting it here inside a double quote, read sheet, and from where to where we want to read the data. So here we will declare. So from here we can see that the range it is asking that from which range to which range, from where to where we want to read the data. So my requirement is to read the data from A1 to H7. So I will keep the range from A1 to H7 here, A1 to H7 here. And so for example here, when we read the data, we have to store somewhere. So to storing, we have to create one variable. So here in the property panel we can see that the output type is data table type. So whatever the data it will come from the Excel sheet, we have to store it into the data table type of variable. So I'm going to create a variable here, Excel sheet read sheet data table, or DT, read sheet DT. So here you can see that the variable I have created just here is reflecting here, and the variable I created here, and the variable data type is data table type. So our requirement was to create the variable of data types, so we don't need to change the variable type. Now I will take one more activity here. So see, we have read the sheet value from the Excel sheet and we have stored that into the read sheet DT data table, and our requirement was to show it as a text. So for this I will see message box. So here the problem is it should be the text to be displayed in the message box. So whatever the text we want to display using the message box, it should be a text value, but here we are getting as a data table. So to show this value, we need to convert this data table's type of variable into some text type of variable. So for this we have one activity, output data table. So what it does, you can see here, it is clearly saying that write a data table to a string using the CSV format. So in UiPath we can, whatever the data table we want to convert into the string type, by using this output data table we can directly convert that data table into the string type. So simply what we have to do, this read sheet data table we have to pass here as an input type. We have to pass read data sheet table, and it will return that data table into some text format. So here it has written that output type will be the text one. So when it will provide the output, we also have to store into one variable. So I will create one variable here, that, and I will keep the variable name as output dt. So here we can see that this output dt is of a string type, and now we can pass this string variable directly into this message box. So I'll keep this like this and I'll run the program. Let's see how it is executing. See, this Excel sheet was opened, so I need to close this Excel sheet, and let me run it once again and see whether it is working. See here, whatever the data it was in the Excel sheet, it has populated here using the message box. activity. See exactly the same value.